Hey guys, Nick Ringus here, and today we're going to go through the 10 steps of implementation for the great game of business. And I'm going to say a few words about each one from our experience in rolling this out at our company, at our agency, Apricot Law. So the first one is begin with the right leadership. If you're not prepared to learn, teach, share, and be involved, the game will not work for you. And when we first got started, we put together our first design team. There was one person in particular I remember always kind of negative about it, skeptical, and as a member of the design team, it was really hard to have this person as a champion. I was going out and talking to other people on the team about it because she just skewed negative on it. I remember her saying things like, it's just a fad. It'll pass. Like, we've done things like this before and they've never really stuck. So you don't want people like that on the design team. And there are a few other, we'll get into this in another video, but there are a few common characteristics that every person in the design team at least need to share before rolling out the great game. So number 2 is share the why before the how. People get much more excited about the how when they clearly understand the why. So it takes some time to think about why you're doing this and why you're rolling this out. I have my own reasons, obviously, that I've shared in another video as well. But we did it because for the first time ever, we had debt. We took on debt when I bought out my partner. So I wanted to get everyone involved and not have everything fall on me from an owner's perspective. So number 3 here is open the books and teach the numbers. Take it beyond just sharing numbers and begin to build trust and mutual respect through transparency and education. What I'll say about this one is we had to bring our numbers down, our P&L down to far fewer categories than were on there originally. I think originally we had nearly, I don't want to say 100 because that sounds ridiculous, but there were dozens and dozens of line items and categories in the P&L. So you want to go ahead and categorize those down into maybe 1 to 5 lines of revenue, lines of COGS or cost of sales, lines of expenses, so that you simplify it as much as possible. Bucket the ones that kind of are related, bucket those together. So it's just easier to go through. And when you're going through your forward forecasting, it would be nearly impossible to forecast every single line on the P&L if it's just unwieldy. So you got to bucket those down, categorize them down, trim it down. Open the books and teach the numbers is number 3. Number 4 is focus on the critical number. We just came up with our critical number for 2023, and we got everyone's input after teaching them the books. And it's only after you open the books and teach the numbers that people can give you educated ideas as to what you guys should focus on in terms of your critical number. So it is important to implement all these 10 steps, not just pick and choose, and each one builds on the one before it. So focus on the critical number. That means define the win and get clarity on what's most important and critical to success. And where we are right now is number 5 in our implementation or in our high involvement planning for next year. And that's act on the right drivers. Create line of sight and ask people what they can do to make a difference. I'll go into drivers in more depth in a different video. But I was getting a lot of people coming back to me with drivers that were just very generic, or they were coming up with projects that could be done in the matter of a few weeks or a month, and not. So what we're looking for with drivers is activities or things that people can do day in and day out, and create a habit out of it. Number 6, create an early win with mini games. Give people a chance to win early and often. So in your driver's exercise and your line of sight tool, you're going to come up with a bunch of different projects that could really impact the critical number, and creating a mini game out of it, or a 90-day challenge, if you will, is a great way to get people involved, get some fun in the business, some excitement. You have a scoreboard that's themed. Number 7, provide a stake in the outcome. This is what people are most excited about. This is when you roll out the bonus plan for the year and how people can get a piece of the gain that they help make. Keep score. Are we winning or losing? So there should be scoreboards everywhere, or visible everywhere, so people know if they're winning or losing at any given time. Number 9, follow the action huddles and forward forecasting. This is probably the crux, or this is probably the most critical thing, most impactful thing you do when you roll out open book management, is this forward forecasting. It's open book management. It's not open book reporting like some people do, where they just show the numbers for the previous month and that's it. There's not much that you can do to impact those numbers after the fact. So forward forecasting is everything that you're doing is looking forward. Every week you're asking your people, what will the end of this month look like for your line? And just keeping everything looking forward and to avoid surprises. And last but not least is step 10, which is sustain with high involvement planning. And people support what they help create. So basically, high involvement planning in a nutshell, as I understand it, as we do it, is just you go through these 10 steps every single year on repeat to plan for the following year and to build out a plan for even 3 to 5 years in advance. So this has been Nick Kringus. Remember, people support what they help create. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. Thanks for watching.